Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This is the Headspace and Tasting Podcast, episode 2.
2, right. We made it.
We made it. Number 2. Actually, it's like 2.1, maybe, right? Because we attempted to record a podcast this past Saturday. Today is Monday the 13th, so this would have been the 11th. We actually did record a podcast, and it was great fun.
Almost, a little over 2 hours.
Yeah, a little over 2 hours. Unfortunately, the content is unusable. We had some major technical difficulties with a microphone that I pulled out of a box, and I guess I put it away for a reason, because it's malfunctioning. That was super annoying.
Maybe we'll use it as our blooper episode at the end of the year.
Yeah, a little recap. We did get some good content for safekeepings, for the records, family records, because we had Kevin's daughters on the show, 4 daughters, and so there was 5 of us using 3 microphones.
6 of us.
6 of us. You're right. 6 using 3 microphones. It was very interesting. And then we had a puppy and a cat and a baby, all contributing to the chaos as the microphone malfunctioned. So.
Right, we had one come off its stand right at the table.
Yeah, just falling. It was a nightmare. It was doomed from the start. So we're going to redo that this coming Saturday, and that will be available Sunday evening.
Yes.
This one this is a kind of an audible we called today, and we're going to talk about a subject that we brought up in a previous podcast, and we're going to knock it out like professionals we are, and upload it tonight. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for tuning in. Kevin, where can they find our podcast?
You can search for our podcast on Spotify at the Headspace and Tasting Podcast. We're also on Amazon Music and Audible. And we also have a Facebook page in which you can link us right off the Facebook page if you like. The cool thing about the Facebook page is you're going to get some additional information you may not get here during our broadcast, but you will get additional tidbits of the befores and afters.
Yeah, a little teaser about what drink's coming up, see if you can guess. You can comment on there about previous episodes.
And some pictures.
I have some pictures, yeah. I'm not on Facebook personally, so Kevin handles all of our social media. And he'll just kind of shoot me a text. Hey, check this out. This was on Facebook.
Right.
And I'll enjoy from afar, but I don't participate.
Besides that, if you want to get a hold of us,
Mm-hmm.
You can email us at showmemk@gmail.com.
Yep.
And you can submit comments, requests for different shows. You could even let us know that you want to provide a bottle of bourbon that you'd like us to taste.
Please and thank you. That would be great.
Yes.
Speaking of, what are we drinking tonight, Kevin?
Tonight, we decided to go fairly local. I pulled one off the shelf from a distillery that's right in Hermann, Missouri. It's called the Copper Mule, and they opened up in 2019, and they are on the fast track of growth. And so what I brought in tonight was the Copper Mule 1893.
So that's the name of the distillery, right? Copper Mule?
Copper Mule.
Okay.
And the Copper Mule 1893 is their standard small batch bourbon. And it is named 1893 because that's when the original founding of the Hermann Distilling Company from the same family opened up. And so this distillery is on a Century Farm. And it's a wheated bourbon, and they grow their own wheat in which they use to distill this specific bourbon.
That's so cool.
But the cool thing is even though we have the 1893 in front of us, we're going to take a step up, and we're actually going to taste tonight the JD Select.
JD Select.
And the JD Select is actually named after the father of one of the owners of the distillery. And this particular bottle that we're trying is from barrel number 33, and this is bottle number 57.
Yeah.
And The
Oh, this is cool. Did they handwrite that on the labels?
It is handwritten on there.
Wow.
It is 49% alcohol by
49,
volume, or 98 proof.
That's a lot less alcohol than I thought after tasting it.
Yes. And what did you find when you tasted it?
It's spicy.
Yeah.
We've used those words before, heat and spice. Not a lot of sweetness in this. Like I said, it kind of just skipped past the front of my tongue, goes straight to the back, and a little bit to the sides, so you can taste the mash.
Certainly. Yeast.
Yeah.
Right?
When I smelled it, it's yeasty, like you can taste the wheat. You can smell the wheat. And I kind of had a thought of beeswax when I smelled it. Like a beeswax candle, or when you eat a honeycomb.
And that makes sense, because one of the things that popped out at me was a hint or a trace of vanilla, like vanilla extract.
I tell you what, I'm on my second serving of this, and it tastes better.
Yes. It has a bright profile.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I like that description. It's very drinkable. If you don't mind sharing, how much does this cost per bottle?
You know what? It's been a little bit since I bought it, but I want to say it's around the $65 range.
Ooh.
And if you're going to purchase it, I'm not sure that it's even in the stores yet. You have to be at the distillery itself to pick it up.
Okay. They do like distillery tours, and
oh yeah.
Do they sell their white dog? Their white, or just aged bourbon? Just
aged.
Okay.
So this particular one that we're actually drinking was a barrel I bought into back in, let's see, 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago.
Is that a piece of the barrel?
This is a piece of the barrel.
I see.
With my signature on it. And it's lost a lot of its flavor, but you can still see the char on the barrel, on the stave.
Yeah, that's so cool. Neat.
And I like to keep it with the bottle. But now that I'm drinking it, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll just stick it on a shelf somewhere.
Frame it.
Right.
That reminds me, I don't know why, but it reminds me of, I went to Camp Toccoa in Georgia, where the original airborne school was. The Currahee Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
What was it, 3 miles up, 3 miles down? And the original barracks, they're restoring the original barracks from World War II, where the guys from the 101st stayed.
Really, I make it an Airbnb?
No, it's a museum.
Oh, okay.
It's a museum. They're not. These guys are serious too. They're rebuilding a plane that the guys jumped out of. And anyway, while I was there, you can get a piece of what did I get? No, I got challenge coins, the Currahee challenge coins. And then one of the guys there was, he knew I was airborne qualified. He gave me a piece of the original siding off the buildings. So I have a piece of the original siding from the barracks. And that just reminds me, like a little keepsake that, you can keep from different points in your life.
Right.
Did you keep anything from Korea? What did you bring home with you?
I have quite a bit of Korea.
Yeah.
I have a soju bottle.
Yeah.
That I drank while I was over there. I saved that one. It's got a lot of memories behind that drink.
A lot of stuff I forgot because of that drink.
Right. A few coins. I have one plaque.
Okay.
And lots of pictures.
I have I had at one point allegedly, I don't want to say that, I allegedly had a piece of North Korean propaganda because I was so close up to the DMZ. They would float those weather balloons up through the pass, the Moonsan Pass, and we would just wake up and it looked like it snowed, and our whole camp house would just be covered with propaganda leaflets.
Really?
Yeah. And they would immediately, the counterintelligence people, nobody's allowed to touch this. Don't collect it. You don't take it home with you if you get caught with it. I swear I had one, but I might have lost it. But yeah, little keepsakes we keep. That's really cool. A piece of this barrel.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it as we drink it.
Okay.
Throughout the evening. But, I want to mention to you, so last week, or not last week, but during our last podcast.
Episode 1.
Yes. You made a comment that planning and preparation can remove some anxiety out of your life.
Yes.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, for example, with, let's say, budgeting for bills. If you have financial goals or some anxiety over your finances, doing a budget can go a long way, taking that anxiety out, because you know where your money's going. Your dollars have a job, as a way. I think Dave Ramsey says that.
Right. Warren Buffett too.
Yeah. So every dollar I make, I do a zero-sum budget. So every dollar I make that goes into my budget is assigned somewhere, either, for bills, entertainment, savings, or prepping.
So that is a Dave Ramsey thing. So at the end of the month, if you have something left out of your zero sum, does that automatically go into savings?
Not all the time.
And start over at zero again?
No, usually if I have money left over, I do a weekly budget because I get paid weekly.
Right.
So I do a weekly budget, and it goes for 6 months. And I look ahead. I have a savings goal that I want to hit. So if I want to get a little ahead, I can put it towards that. Or it's fun money. I'll have extra money. I'm like, hey, let's have a date night. We'll spend a little extra on date night, or we'll talk about it and where do we want our money to go.
Smart.
Yeah. And so I don't want to say I have zero anxiety about money or finances or bills, but I used to have a lot of anxiety about it because I was like, should I pay the power bill this month or should I pay the water bill?
So is that pay or is that budget? What was the primary? Are you going to go with budget? Is the primary that helped you get some of that anxiety out of there that you just talked about?
Yeah, because I've made more money than I make right now in the past. And but I've had way more anxiety about my money because it was gone and I had no idea where it was.
Gotcha.
I wasn't budgeting. That same principle, I think it was like a lot of people. I was always, like a Boy Scout. Boy Scouts always prepared. I was a Cub Scout growing up, Boy Scout. I was always like to be prepared for stuff. In the military, piss poor planning. That what is it? Poor performance. What is it? I wrote it down. There it is. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. That's what we used to say.
The 6 Ps.
The 6 Ps. But everybody in the business world, it's 5 Ps, right? They can leave the piss out of it. The Army, we have to use some sort of curse word.
We need some drama.
Yeah. So we would always, you have a wet weather bag on the outside of your stuff, but inside your ruck. Okay, we have a wet weather bag. Guess what? That thing gets pinholes in it. So we would put a 55-gallon trash bag inside our wet weather bag, which would keep our stuff dry because I was stationed in Fort Lewis, Washington. You're going to get wet wherever you're going. And we also did water operations too. We would do stream reconnaissance, far side shore reconnaissance and stuff like that.
Oh, you didn't make the poncho raft, did you? Where you floated down the Nisqually River?
Oh, yeah. Make a poncho raft.
33-degree water.
Yeah. Had to take our pants off and make a life jacket out of it.
Yes.
It's like I said, I think I said during the Lost podcast, I've been cold a lot in my life, so I've snuggled with a lot of dudes.
Okay, this isn't the Navy.
No,
I didn't mean to say that.
We don't make eye contact. That's the difference. Snuggling with dudes is okay as long as you don't make eye contact.
And to all of our military friends, we respect and honor all of you.
Yeah.
We're just playing around. Except
the Air Force. But yeah, prior planning prevents poor performance. That's the 5 Ps. That's everybody knows. You probably learn that in business school if you go to college and that kind of stuff. And so I kind of just lived my life that way. And I was in South Carolina when Hurricane Matthew hit.
Okay.
All right. I can't even remember what year that was. 2016, 2018, something like that. It was a bad one. We were stuck in our neighborhood for 3 days. And I was in the Midlands of South Carolina, up near Columbia. And it was me and my 2 boys in the house. But we didn't feel any pain. Obviously the boys, we didn't have power. The boys couldn't play video games or watch TV for like a day and a half. But we had plenty of groceries, non-perishables. We had plenty of water. I think I had 5 cases of bottled water. And I had enough to share with my neighbors.
Nice.
And that showed me like, oh, okay, I was ready for this. But what if it was a week? The roads are washed out. I could have walked to the grocery store if I had to, but everybody else was going to the grocery store at the same time.
Right. Or moving forward, 2020 when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And we were locked down for 14 days.
Right. South Carolina didn't participate in the lockdowns, but they did close Walmart for a few days. And so we were prepared for the 5-day stay. We didn't know how long we were going to have to stay quarantined, locked down. I was working at the fire department at the time, so I was stuck at the fire department 24/7. Caitlin went to Walmart, and, everybody's grabbing toilet paper and milk and bread. I told her, go to the soup aisle, get all the ramen noodles you can get the dry beans and rice. Skip everything else.
Yeah, it was amazing the amount of people who were rushing to get different things.
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember being in the grocery store. We were in your same boat. We already had a lot of the necessities were already taken care of. Because you kind of saw it coming. If you didn't see it coming, you're going to be left behind. And so then it came down to, I saw one person who was going down the aisle with his cart, and he literally was just taking bottles of salsa or jars of salsa off the shelves and putting them in his cart. You know why? Because there was nothing else left on that aisle.
Oh, wow.
And so he's just clearing out jars of salsa, and I'm thinking, what are you going to eat that salsa? You're going to drink it? You didn't get the chips. The chips are gone.
Yeah.
Everyone's already gone through and scavenged the shelves.
I guess he thought if I'm starving to death, I can eat salsa.
I guess. But that was an eye-opener, and I think it was an eye-opener for a lot of people, in that, you need to have some staples and necessities in your pantry.
Yeah.
And not have to feel so stressed when you hit the grocery store if you have to. Mm-hmm. And you don't even know what you're going to get. You're just going to get it because it's sitting on the shelf.
Right.
That's not the place to be in.
No, that's to me, that's terrifying.
Yes.
That's like zombie apocalypse scenario.
Right. That's what it seemed like here.
I think
when that was going down.
To me personally, I think the majority of people are like zombies already. They're just kind of wandering through life. They're zombified. When they're hungry, guess what? It's going to get brutal.
Right.
So I use Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You familiar with that?
I've heard the name.
Yeah.
Is that the 5 categories?
5-tier model of human needs. It's like there's physiological safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. And it's kind of like the food group. So you have your base level, which is your physiological needs. Air, food, water, shelter, clothing, warmth. This has sex on it when I looked it up, to sex and sleep, but you can probably go a long time without sex.
Probably so.
The human race won't survive, but you'll be okay. Trust me. Sleep is a huge one. We use, I'm not going to say we. Sleep deprivation is a form of torture. That's probably one of the most effective. Mm-hmm. Then up from that, you have safety. People like to have order, predictability in their life, some sort of feeling of control. Then there's love, this word called belongingness, which I'm not sure if that's a real word, but a sense of belonging. Like you feel like somebody's waiting for you. A lot of POWs have talked about how their wives, they knew their wives were waiting for them at home, or they got a girlfriend at home. A lot of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, hang on to their girlfriend back home, even though Jody's right there taking care of them.
Right.
If you know, you know. I'm not going to explain. Then there's esteem needs, like self-worth, accomplishment, respect. This really makes me think about, you remember that pilot that got shot down in Bosnia in the mid-'90s? He was an F-15 pilot. He got shot down. They made that movie Behind Enemy Lines, kind of loosely based off this. And he knew that, okay, I got to find shelter, food, water. I need to figure this out. And he used the, let me see, turn my page here, the rule of 3. All right, so this is what I use also, rule of 3. You can survive 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, 3 months without hope. So you use that and say, okay, I'm breathing. I just ejected out of my plane. Now, obviously, this is an extreme circumstance here.
Right.
I'm breathing. I'm okay. This is kind of the thing you can do in your mind, like a psychological trick to tell yourself you're okay. This dang cat's back. What is his deal?
He's good.
Get out of here, Basil. You're okay. I can breathe, right? Say the COVID lockdowns. We're okay. Everybody's healthy. No big deal. 3 hours without shelter, depending on the weather. If it's cold outside, hot outside, whatever, just keep that in mind. Shelter comes next. We have a roof overhead. We're good. We have shelter. 3 days without water. All right. Did you fill your bathtub up with water? Do you have water stored? Do you have a case of bottled water? Do you have a well?
Do you know where you can get water?
Do you know where you can get water? 3 weeks without food. You're going to be hurting. But after a few days, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You'll adjust. The American diet, we can survive quite a while on our fat stores.
Sure.
And then 3 months without hope. So this guy immediately took stock. I'm alive. I can breathe. Cool. I need somewhere to hide out. I need some shelter. So he made a lean-to shelter in the woods, hiding from the enemy. He said, I need to find some water. There's snow everywhere. He started gathering up some snow, started melting it to get it, and he was putting it next to his body to get warm temperature because drinking cold water will suck the heat out of you.
Right, it's going to shock your system.
Yeah. Food. Where is he going to find food? So he started foraging for some berries, what's edible around. He started taking stock. He actually ended up eating ants. He would find these little ants, but that gave him something to occupy his mind. It was a game to play, right? So it's a psychological trick. All of these things are taken from the Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape manual. In the Army, the Air Force has their own, the Army has their own. Obviously, I'm biased. I think the Army's is better. The FM 21-76. So if you take these principles, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the 3-minute rule, or the rule of threes, I mean, kind of adjust that to your life. That's kind of what I did. So I'm sitting down saying, okay, there's 3 of us in this house. We have a roof overhead. What are we going to do for water? How much water do we need per person per day?
And for how long?
And for how long? Right. So then you go, how much food do we need? How many calories? I break it down to calories. How many calories per day do you need to sustain? I'm not talking about bulking up. I'm not talking about losing weight every day. I want to sustain what we have. How many calories?
Using the 18, what are you using? 1,800, 2,200?
2,000.
You're using 2,000.
2,000 calories.
Okay.
Yep. Now for me, 2,000 calories is a deficit. But for my wife, or my daughter, that's more than they need. So we'll be able to adjust. So that's all at my house, right? I think you texted me today. What's the number one rule of preparedness?
Right. Don't talk about preparing.
So I'm breaking a little bit of the rule here.
Well, we're teaching.
Teaching, yeah. I'm not going to go around town bragging about what I have.
Right.
Definitely don't want the ATF showing up.
Well, I don't think it's that bad, Matt.
Yeah. Okay.
I think one of the things, you mentioned these things, and I've seen texts and comments in different posts in the past in which some people would say, "You all can save all you want. I'm just going to go and take what you have."
Okay. Good luck with that.
How do you respond to that?
I would say we're all human beings here. We're all trying to survive. We need to not forget the human factor that's involved, but also, if the situation comes down to between me and my family and you and your family, I wish you luck, partner, because I'm ready.
Because there truly are people who that's their plan.
Oh, yeah.
Their plan is to take what you have.
Yeah. You need to have a home defense plan. Have to. If you're going to store something in your house, you have your loved ones in a home, you should have a defense plan, whether that's a security system, the property you live on. Like I lived on 38 acres before. I had a serpentine driveway, and I had early detection devices. If somebody's pulling onto my property, I knew immediately. I had a minute of lead time on you.
What do you say to the person who's staying in an apartment? For instance, the ones that were in Colorado, and you had the arugula band or the arugula gang,
Yeah.
the spicy lettuce gang.
You need to make a decision. Are you going to stay or are you going to go? Right. So are we in a short-term survival scenario or a long-term survival?
And you better figure that one out pretty quick.
You better
because
figure it out
short-term
quick.
and long-term happens overnight or in an instant.
It's relative. Well, yeah, look at the people in California right now.
Yeah.
You
Did
know.
you see the one video of the woman trying to escape, and you see the fire over the top of the tunnel?
Yeah.
And she drives through the tunnel and comes out the other side, and it's worse.
Yeah.
And she's just driving in the fire.
What are you doing?
Hoping she's going to make it.
That's panic right there. That's the your lizard brain taking over, and you're just jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire. This is why you need to be prepared. You kind of need to be paranoid a little bit. Like my wife will tell me, "Hey Matt, are you in the right frame of mind to be making these decisions right now, or are you being a little paranoid?" I was like, "Well, I'm a little paranoid, but I'm not big P paranoid, capital P."
Sure.
You know.
Well, what if we took it a step back?
Sure.
Going back to some of the basics.
Okay.
For instance, you had the hierarchies and you had the rule of three.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know what? There's 5 categories to preparation.
Okay.
Or 5 topics.
Yeah.
Water,
Mm-hmm.
food, fire, shelter, security. There's 6. First aid and sanitation.
Yes.
So if you at least on the basics made a checklist of those 6 things, and then we're not saying go out and buy this stuff overnight and buy months and months worth of it.
No.
But you know what? If you had 3 days to a week and you just got a little bit here, a little bit there, you're going to be head and shoulders above where you are right now.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the 2 bottom foundational parts of this hierarchy of needs that you just covered. Food and water, very basic. Sanitation is extremely important. In the Army, we had to take a whole week-long course on field sanitation, on how to sanitize water, not only the water, but the vessels that you're carrying the water in. Hand cleaning. Where do you cut your slit trenches in? Your latrines. Where are you gonna poop? If you don't have water to flush your toilet, where are you gonna poop?
Right.
What are you gonna do? You got to think about that stuff for real. Especially if you're, like you said, you're in an apartment complex. Where's everybody gonna poop? You're gonna go back to the 1600s, 1500s, where you're just urinating in a bucket and you dump it out your window.
Right. And it's great that if you think you're gonna buy canned goods, do you have a can opener?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, do you have 2 can openers?
2, yes.
Because 1 is none and 2 is 1.
That's exactly right.
And 1 might break.
Yep.
And then, okay, so you have this can good of something, and you can open it, but then you have no power.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are you just going to drink it out of the can?
So let's go one by one down that list you made. All right, what was the first one?
First one was water.
Water. All right. We get plenty of rain. You can collect rainwater. We have streams. We got the Missouri River is right there. Would you drink a glass of water out of the Missouri River right now?
No.
No.
I have to purify it.
Can you make it drinkable?
Yes.
What are some ways you can make that water drinkable?
Well, the easiest way is to boil it.
Boil. Mm-hmm.
Boil it and then siphon the water off, get the sediments out.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way.
Yeah. You can distill it,
Yes.
but that's a pretty fancy process.
And you can use different forms of filtration
Right.
to get to it.
So if you're going to filter, what I would do, I'm going to take a bucket of water from the Missouri River, haul it all the way back to my house, and I'm going to run it through the filters first, right? I'm going to use cheesecloth, a T-shirt, some sort of fabric, and then I'm going to go down to probably some charcoal, maybe. Mm-hmm. You could use sand and rocks, just as long as it collects the big stuff and it gets smaller on the way down.
Right.
Then what's left, I would take that and boil it. That's the best way. You have iodine tablets.
How long do I have to boil it?
Oh.
Trick question.
That's what is it, a rolling boil for 30 minutes or something like that?
No, all you have to do is bring it to a boil.
That's it?
It's already sterilized.
I'm boiling it extra, man, especially the Missouri River.
Because as you're boiling it, you're losing water at the same time.
True.
So you got to think about the situation you're in.
Yeah. Running water is much preferable to stagnant water. If stagnant water, you really got to do some work.
If you can't get out of your house, where can I get water?
Out of the clean water tank on your toilet.
Mm-hmm.
That stores, like 3 gallons of water in that thing?
Mm-hmm. The water heater?
Water heater.
Which can be a 50-gallon.
Yeah.
Or even a 75-gallon water heater. That's a lot of water.
That is a lot of water. Because you need about a gallon of water per person per day. That's a good average, which is a lot of water. And right now, if you sat down and say, I'm going to drink a gallon of water today, it's tough. But if the air conditioner goes out, and you got to haul some water up from the river all the way 5 miles to your house, you're going to drink a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
You need water to cook with. You need water to bathe and wash your hands with.
Right.
And it's a lot of water you need. I would highly recommend people have rainwater collection barrels. I don't care if you live in an area where they tell you it's illegal to do that. Make your own decision on what laws you need to follow.
Fortunately, around here, we don't have that problem.
Yeah, no. In Missouri, that's one of the big reasons I moved to Missouri. South Carolina, they don't care what you do as far as rainwater collection. It's very loose rules down there. But the rules they do have, they're militant about. Redcoat militant, I would say. They're loyal to the crown. Mm-hmm. Here, we have a more independent spirit here in Missouri. We're very fortunate.
But you know what? A 36-bottle case of water,
mm-hmm.
the plastic bottles we get at the grocery store or at a gas station that we're going to drink out of.
What are they, like 16 ounces per bottle?
Yeah, somewhere around there. 36-bottle case of water at Costco, I believe, is $3.49.
Yep.
Okay, so you know what? Well, I don't have a lot of money, but you know what? I could spare $4.
Yep.
To get a case of water and just stick it in a closet.
Well, how about this? If you're getting a case of water for your normal consumption, buy 2 cases.
Right. Set one aside.
Set one aside. That's what we do with a lot of stuff. Staples, where we get into sanitation, toothpaste, toilet paper, sanitary napkins, we'll say. What else would there be? Soap, bars of soap. So I like to use the liquid soap personally in the shower, but I tell my wife, buy me some shower soap, but also get some bars of Dial.
Bars don't go bad.
Nope.
And they can just sit there.
Yep, and you got antibacterial soap.
Right, but if I'm going from waters to food.
Food, okay.
And, people, like I said, that gentleman was getting jars of salsa off the shelf and had nothing else with them.
Yeah.
So, when you think about it, you want to buy the things that you eat normally.
Yes.
Don't buy crazy foods thinking, I'm going to get this because I might need it someday. All it's going to do is sit on the shelf and go to waste.
Right.
Then you're going to donate it to a food shelter because it expired. And you feel like you're doing a service. But, the food shelter is just going to throw it away because it's expired.
Well, those expiration dates are just recommended dates. That doesn't mean it's expired.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
But they have their rules when it comes to distributing
food shelter,
even to a poor person.
Yeah. So what me and my beautiful wife do, we had chickens before, and there's an old technique. Gosh, dang it. Sergeant Major Basil Plumley is acting out today. Basil, get. There's an old technique called glassing eggs. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah. You use lime water. We would get these 1-gallon jars, put the eggs in there, cover them with water, pour the right ratio of lime in it. My wife knows how to do this. And we had those eggs over a year before we ate them. So you can store raw eggs for long term, over a year, and they taste just fine. There was no difference. I think it was a little bit, I don't know, maybe the yolks were a little bit thicker. Not really sure, but it was good. So you can glass eggs. You can look at old. How did they do this back when Missouri was a frontier? How did they keep eggs? Did they just eat them? No, they glassed them. They had preservation. They had root cellars and that sort of stuff. What else? What are some other ways we can store food?
Well, you can get dried foods. Dried foods are very helpful because they don't go bad. And then, again, all that takes is a little bit of water to add to it to either get it to rehydrate itself or to cook it up into a meal. Ramen noodles, perfect example.
Yeah.
Ramen noodles don't go bad.
No.
And ramen noodles you can doctor up in so many different ways.
And, you can buy freeze-drying machines, freeze-dried food.
Yes.
That's good for 25, 30 years.
And you're saving yourself some money. You have the upfront cost of getting the dehydrator.
Right.
But all that you're doing is actually saving money ahead of time.
That's it. A freeze-drying machine probably costs you about $3,000. It's pretty expensive. But when you think about your freeze-drying food that will last for 30 years, when you put it in a Mylar bag and seal it up, it weighs a fraction of the normal weight. And then we'll talk about bug-out bags or go-home bags here shortly.
Yeah.
But freeze-drying food, dehydrating food, canning, preserving. You have different pressure canning. You can do pressure canning or regular canning, water bath canning.
Right, and doing both is actually pretty easy.
Yeah,
the funny thing is I'll do green beans, water bath canning, and my kids won't eat green beans from the store anymore. They only want mine.
Yeah. We do it every year. When we had a garden in South Carolina, we would can and freeze dry all of our vegetables we grew. So our daughter has only eaten food that we've grown until we moved here to Missouri. She never had any store-bought baby food. It was all food we grew ourselves. And we have organic. We use no pesticides. It is what it is. We get to harvest what we can. Heirloom seeds. We took the seeds out of it so we could dry them and use them again.
But think about this. Are we talking reality for most people if we're talking about preparing and setting aside something? Or are we talking about this is what you could be doing, but most people are going to do that anyway?
Yeah, that's probably peak prepper activities.
Yeah, most people aren't going to do that.
No. Well, I think it goes back to if you're at the grocery store and you make a budget, right? You say, our groceries cost $250 a week. I'm going to spend an extra $25. We're going to budget for $275. That $25 is going to be redundant purchase. Extra can of soup, an extra tube of toothpaste, extra roll of toilet paper.
Right.
Yeah. And over time, just like you're putting pennies in your piggy bank, you're going to build up like, whoa, we have 3 months worth of toilet paper here. It takes up space.
Right.
But, you see, Kevin, we don't live in a large house.
Mm-hmm.
And we have plenty of room. We're
right.
Okay.
But think about it also from... at the beginning, we talked about money and budgets, finance.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you do not have that disaster that's going to hit,
yeah,
which we pray that never happens.
Mm-hmm.
By you just buying an extra item and putting it on the shelf,
yeah.
so that way when you run out, instead of going to the store, you have it on the shelf.
Right.
You're already saving yourself money because you're hedging inflation.
Yes.
By your purchases.
Yeah.
So today I just spent $2 on 2 bars of soap. And then 3 months from now, I ran out of one soap. I only have one left. I took the last one off my shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the store. I'm now paying $2.10
yeah.
for the same 2 bars of soap. So, 10 cents don't seem like much. But you know what? We go through all of our stuff every single day. How many times a week do you go to the grocery store?
Once a week.
See, I I'm there 3-4 times a week
Really?
because I don't buy for a week. I buy for a little bit, and then I'm out of one thing, and I'm sent to the grocery store, and then I come home with 4 things.
Yeah, if we were trying at one point in time to eat only like day old. We buy our meat the day we're going to cook it. Go to the grocery store on the way home from work every day.
Right.
And man, you can't budget for that.
No.
You really can't.
No.
So we started
I
going
like the
to,
idea. It's a great German philosophy. The Germans still do that.
Yeah.
Right? They still go to the store and get their bread every day.
But they probably travel a mile and a half in their whole entire day, to work and home and market, and it's all self-contained.
Right.
Unless you want those 15-minute cities that our leaders want. Overall, yes. You got to scan your wrist to get in the store. That's a whole other show. So yeah, preparedness can be whatever level relieves your anxiety. So here in Missouri, we live near the Missouri and the Mississippi rivers in east central Missouri. Merrimack River's right down the road. A lot of tributaries going to the rivers here. It floods. Okay, so what if I have all my food stored in my basement and it floods? Then what do I do? Well, guess what? You can prepare for that too. You can have my food is on shelves.
Right, because even your water heater.
Right, my water heater is right there in that room. I'm pointing behind me, and my storage is over there. But my stuff's off the ground. I bought shelves. I got shelves, and they're mounted, and everything's off the ground. I have stuff that's on the ground, obviously, but it's nothing that I need to survive. It's like shovels and whatever, but everything else is up off the ground.
You know who the best preppers are, in my opinion? Moms.
Moms, okay.
Because they're always thinking about what's going to happen to their child or children, or how they're going to take care of them in some way.
Yeah, they buy like socks in bulk because they know the kids are.
So I tell you what, moms, if you're listening, take that concept of you taking care of your children and expand it to your home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a great idea.
If you take that and expand it to your home, you are already 5 steps ahead of someone else who's not paying attention at all.
So now we're getting into traditional gender roles, Kevin.
Oh, boy. But we're not going to talk about the trad wife, are we?
No. But men, I want to take this opportunity to talk to the men. Guess what your role is? If your wife is preparing food and storing food and thinking about storage and preparations, security. That's
You're
job.
the protector.
Period. I don't want to hear any argument. I don't care what you think, how tough your wife is. I don't care. It's not her job. It's your job. You shovel the driveway. You defend the home.
Yeah, and I hope you shoveled the driveway.
Yeah, or at least attempted to. Like me, my back.
I mean, I had 11 inches of snow in my yard, in my driveway, and it actually took the help of my family to get it all out.
Right. But you were out there with a shovel in your hand.
As soon as it started coming down.
Yeah. Like I said, I caught my wife on Ring camera shoveling the driveway, and I yelled at her through the Ring camera, "Get back in the house, woman." And later she's like, "Are you upset with me because I tried to shovel the driveway?" I'm like, no, not at all. But that's my job. Don't steal my thunder. Trying to get those brownie points.
That could be the way that she's telling you, get out there and shovel that driveway. How come you haven't done it already?
It absolutely is. I'm like, well, I'm at work. I can't really, because I went to work when everybody else was snowed in.
Right.
I'm loyal like that.
That was a fun day.
It was super fun. All right,
so next up was fire.
Fire. All right, there is a lot for fire. What did I have in my notes here? Well, you know what I carry? My primary fire source that I carry on my get-home bag?
No, Matt, what is your primary fire source?
A Bic lighter.
Outstanding.
Those things work when they're wet. They work when it's cold. They work when it's hot.
Right.
They last a long time. They're super tough.
Everybody comes up with all these weird, fire starters, and they're making the little wax rings and all these things. Mm-hmm. You just said it.
Yeah.
Have the Bic lighter.
Keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method.
Exactly.
Right?
Don't have one, have two.
Have two. So I have a Bic lighter. I have a Zippo lighter because I want to look cool sometimes. But I also have a ferro rod and a piece of steel. Mm-hmm. And then I have those ropes that are soaked in the fire starter that you can get wet, and it's like tinder. You just cut a little piece off and It lights up real quick.
Right.
But I also know how to gather tinder, how to make a fire, and this is all not stuff that I sought out this training.
Right. This isn't our show.
No.
So if you want that stuff, it is so easy to get on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And you can find these little 5-minute less videos about all these things we're talking about.
Watch the videos. Cool. But go out in your backyard and practice.
Do it on top of the grill, of all things.
Yeah. Yeah. Gather up some pine cones and watch how quickly they light fire. Mm-hmm. Something else that we have is cotton balls and Vaseline in old medicine bottles. I keep those too.
The lint out of your dryer.
Dryer lint is
Don't throw that dryer lint away. No. Shove it into a jar.
You know what we do? We take empty toilet paper rolls and stuff it with dryer lint and put them in Ziploc baggies. Throw one of those in a fireplace and one spark. It goes up. You got your fire started.
Nice.
It's great. No waste too. We're recycling because we love.
That's right. You're keeping it out of the landfill.
That's it. But yeah, I also have a jet boil system that I carry. You know, it's a little compressed gas cylinder, jet boil. I can light that thing up, man. It boils water in like 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's great. It's super light.
Dads out there, do you like to grill? Do you have an extra bag of charcoal?
Yep.
Do you have an extra tank for your grill if you're a gas cooker?
Mm-hmm.
You know, simple things.
Simple stuff. Yep. That KISS method will save you so much heartache.
Yes.
Because you know, we're smart people. Humans are very intelligent, and we tend to overthink things. Just keep it simple, man. A box of matches. If you need a box of matches, buy 2. You can get them in like a 3-pack for like $5 or something like that.
If it gets really bad, and you can even go take it a step further and just pop the hood on your car. Mm-hmm. And just start striking your car battery and get a spark.
Yeah, 9-volt batteries and a piece of chewing gum foil.
Yes, don't put your tongue to it.
Watch those prison videos. Those guys are geniuses. They're very resourceful. They can light their cigarettes with a 9-volt battery.
Now I've tried the whole Wrigley spearmint gum, gum wrapper, touching on the battery.
Yeah.
You
got to take the paper off of it.
Yeah, I know. It's
hit and miss.
Right.
You can do it though.
Right. So how desperate are you to use a magnifying glass in the sun?
You could do that.
I know.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I actually have a magnifying sheet.
Okay.
It's about as big as a deck of cards.
Yeah.
And you can hold that up. It's designed to create heat off the light.
There you go.
So you can light a piece of paper or something like that.
I've seen Bear Grylls use a piece of Hershey's chocolate bar to polish the bottom of a Coke can and use that reflection to start a fire. Apparently that works. On TV, it works.
Hand sanitizer is a great fuel.
Yep, I keep a thing of hand sanitizer in my bag.
You just put a little dab out there and light that thing up, and that thing's going to burn a little bit. And then you got plenty of time to get something going and get a fire going.
Yeah.
Lots of options.
Yeah. I mean,
just watch the videos.
Yeah, if you can build a fire. So right now it's 15 degrees outside, 20 degrees?
About.
Something like that?
Yeah, it's getting dark.
You're going to need some fire. And you're also going to need something to reflect that fire. So a space blanket, one of those little astronaut space blankets that you can put in your pocket. Those things are amazing. If you curl up in one of them things, it'll keep you warm enough to survive. Now we're getting into our go bags, which we call get home bags, you and I.
Yes.
We carry a bag in our vehicles to get home from work. Now you need to know how long you're going to have to walk to get home from work. If you drive an hour to work, you're going to need a lot more stuff. Here in Missouri, I had to really add to my kit because of the cold. I'm going to have to get wet sometimes to get home. Mm-hmm. So I need extra stuff. South Carolina, that wasn't a concern. So I had to kind of adjust what I carry. I had to buy a bigger bag.
Right. For 15 years, nearly 15 years, I was working in the city of St. Louis, so I was commuting every day.
Yeah.
That was 36 miles one way. So planning that.
One bridge that you could cross, right?
I was crossing one bridge into the city. Correct.
Yeah.
I had to get across that bridge coming home.
Right. Or swim.
And, it's 36 miles one way. And you got to figure, okay, am I going to walk 36 miles in one day? Even if I have nothing on me and I'm out for a stroll, I'm not going to walk 36 miles in a day. It's going to take me a minimum of 2 days.
Yep.
No issues. And
No
I'm walking 18 miles a day.
That's brutal.
Yes. So it might be 3 days
Yep.
before I get home.
I mean, if it's in the middle of July, 18 miles in the middle of July in Missouri,
Right.
how much water do you think you're going to have to carry?
Exactly. Or how am I going to get water sources? These are things you should be thinking about when you're going to plan your walk home.
So in my bag, I have a life straw. Those things are incredible. Miracle of science. They're awesome. You could drink straight out of the Mississippi River with a life straw.
Yes.
A puddle in a sewer you could drink.
Yeah.
All right, so I highly recommend Life Straw. They're not a sponsor. That would be awesome if they were. But if we had one sponsor, I don't care who it is, that would be cool. Life Straws are great. They make little handheld pumps. You can just use a little lever and pump, filter, HEPA filter.
You mentioned earlier the iodine tablets.
I keep those. But you have to study. Everything we're talking about right now is just touching the very surface of these topics. You have to learn. If you are concerned at all about being prepared for whatever eventualities, you have to study and you have to practice.
Well, let's hold that a second. Why are we even talking about this? Well, you got the fires in L.A.
Yep.
Destroying the city.
Just burned from the hillside to the water.
Exactly. Everything. What are you going to do?
Yeah. You got to be ready to go.
Right. You had the hurricane that took out western North Carolina.
Yep.
And they're still suffering.
Right.
And matter of fact, they're really upset because all the attention now is on L.A. Why? Because that's where all the famous rich movie stars live.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be left behind.
Well, there's a massive lithium deposit in western North Carolina.
Yes.
But let's ignore that for now.
And then as of today, so this happened, what was it, back in August?
Yes.
Back in August. As of today, only 4% of all the debris from that hurricane has been removed. 4%.
Unbelievable. This is my personal opinion. If you're relying on the government to help you in your time of need, you're screwed.
Yes.
There's no two ways about it. Look all the way back to Hurricane Katrina. You think somebody's coming to help you? You're wrong.
Right.
It's up to us. Nobody's coming.
So what's the threat here where we're at? So,
floods.
Yeah, we're in the metro St. Louis area.
New Madrid Fault.
Floods, New Madrid Fault,
tornadoes.
Extreme weather.
Civil unrest.
Yep. We've had that here.
Yeah.
There's only 2 square blocks.
Right.
But that could expand easily.
Yeah. When I was watching that in South Carolina, I thought the whole city of St. Louis was burning.
That's what everybody thought.
And then I came home and I was like, dude, what was up with those riots? They were like, what are you talking about?
And I used to have to tell people, friends of mine who lived out of state,
Yeah.
You understand this is 2 square blocks.
Yep.
But still, that could easily expand.
One of the great lessons I taught my sons when they were younger, when Hurricane Matthew hit South Carolina, we had power, came back on. We're watching TV, and they showed this road collapsing, right? But then they would go to commercial. And then they'd come back, talk about the floods. Then they would show that same road collapse, go to commercials. I looked at my kids and I said, hey, boys, do you think if this was such a massive emergency, they'd be trying to sell you hemorrhoid cream after they showed the same road collapsing over and over again?
Right.
And my boys, I taught them to really think for themselves. And they were like, no, that's really weird. Why would they have a commercial if it's an emergency? I'm like, it's really not. I mean, It was an emergency for a day, while the water was raging. I mean, the fire department for the county we lived, the town we lived, it was an unincorporated town. They're pulling people out of their cars from the floodwater. One person died. We had people die and driving through floodwaters. But after the rain stopped, why are we still watching raging waters flooding out cars and roads and stuff? It's sensationalism.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's another thing where I said you got to kind of be paranoid, but not really.
Right. Look at it. Winter storms.
Live in reality.
They're actually, the news media is actually naming winter storms now. Give me a break. We have Winter Storm Marlene coming down, and it's going to affect 47 million people.
It sells advertising. That's why they're doing it.
It's going to affect the city of, St. Joseph, Missouri.
Right. For a few days.
And everyone else around it will be cold, but that one little spot is the one that's going to get the ice.
Yeah. So those folks down there, they're prepared for that stuff. Country folks, they can food as a hobby. That's just a normal way of life for most people. And really, most people in this country, if you look at it, the vast majority of the people in this country are prepared for what's coming. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, if the hillside breaks free and it washes your house away, like in North Carolina, there's nothing you can do. You got to be ready to go.
Right.
And what are you going to take with you?
Right. And think about this. You mentioned the government a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ronald Reagan. I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody laughs.
The most terrifying words ever spoken.
Yes. But if you go to the FEMA website directs every household and recommends you should have these things in your home.
Right.
How many people are even paying attention to that?
Probably 0.002%.
Yeah. You know, or, you know what, they're following the first rule of prepping, and that is not to talk about prepping.
Exactly.
Or they're following rule number 2. Do you know what rule number 2 is, Matt?
What's that?
Don't talk about rule number 1.
Yeah. I am hesitant to talk about basically this show, like today. I hesitate to talk about this because people will label you as a crazy prepper, conspiracy theorist. They'll use all sort of government made-up terms.
Yeah. Well, you know, back in 2011, there was the Doomsday Preppers aired on television.
Oh, gosh.
And the first 2 episodes I thought were actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
After that, they became comical.
Yeah.
And then,
you know why? Because most preppers are going to say, get the hell off my property.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you people.
Right. Unless they want to sell something.
Yes.
So they're trying to market themselves.
Yeah.
Because some of those guys that were featured on there have blog sites, YouTube channels, those kinds of things.
Dark web.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But, you learn something from all of them. And that kind of gave the prepper community a bad name. Prepper is not a good term. Maybe we shouldn't use it.
No.
Preparedness, readiness, those are words that have meaning.
Yeah.
And we should be grabbing hold of those.
Well, our government has redundancies, right? When you're in the Army, you have a primary means of communication and a secondary means of communication and a third means of communication, all the way down to the Pony Express. You have to have redundancies at everything. Yeah, okay, if you have some extra AA batteries in your drawer, your junk drawer upstairs, what about when those batteries don't work anymore? Do you have rechargeable batteries? Do you have a means to charge those batteries? These are kind of things that you want to think about. Don't go crazy. You don't have to have a massive stockpile of AA and AAA C, D batteries, all that sort of stuff.
But you need to know what you need a battery for.
Right. Yeah. If you look straight ahead, Kevin, I don't know if you can see that. That black box with the handles on it.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
Well, without my glasses on, I'm just going to take a stab in the dark because we talked about it. Is that your battery box?
That's a generator.
Oh, that's your generator. See,
yeah.
I'm not even that close.
That's a solar generator that I have. You plug it in. You can plug it in, charge it up. Right now it has over 100 hours. I can run my refrigerator for over 100 hours with that. But I also have 2 big solar panels I can set out in the backyard and recharge that thing.
Nice.
I can run my refrigerator all the way down to charging my cell phone. That thing was not that expensive. If you watch Amazon during the Prime days and all that kind of stuff, you can get this stuff really cheap. And that thing works great. I can use it indoors. You can't run a generator, a diesel generator or a gas-powered generator inside, right? What's that? That's like ringing a dinner bell. If you put a generator outside and crank that thing up, guess who else is coming over for dinner? The people who didn't save up their food.
Right. What do you do then?
How deep do you want to go?
Are you willing to be generous?
To a point.
Are you going to take a lesson from a book that I read in which they said, here's some food.
Now go away.
And don't ever come back?
Yes.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm all about helping my neighbors in any way I can, up to a certain point. Like I said, we're all human beings here. We're all souls. We need to help each other out as much as we possibly can. But everybody's line is drawn differently in the sand, and we're kind of wandering off here into worst case scenario land. But like I said, during Hurricane Matthew, I had some extra water I could give my neighbors, because our water wasn't shut off. It was a boil your water was in effect because our water treatment plant overflowed. It was flooded. So people didn't want to take showers. They didn't want to use the water, even if it was boiled. So I had some water I could help out my neighbors. I had some extra ramen packets I could hand out. But I made it very clear to them, this is what we have to help with. Everything else is for us.
Right. But the bottom line is we're talking about this because we care.
Yes, absolutely.
And we want everyone to understand that there is a lot you can do to take care of yourself and your family.
Yes.
And you should be thinking along those lines.
Right. Your family first, then outside the walls of your house.
Yes. And it kind of goes back into our last two podcasts about being kind,
yes,
being generous, maintaining Christmas in your heart all year long.
Yeah.
Don't forget about these things. These things, all this stuff is connected in some way.
But the U.S. Army Special Forces saying, be kind to everyone, but have a plan to kill everybody in the room. I would keep that in mind. Just because you're nice and you're generous doesn't mean you have to be vulnerable and be taken advantage of. So you need to have a plan to protect what you have, defend your family, home security systems like we talked about, have even me and my wife, we have a communication plan.
That's actually a good point, because the next one on the list was security.
Security, okay. So we just got a dog. We got a German Shepherd puppy. That's a big part of our security plan. I was very intentional in picking the breed of dog I wanted around my family. You should do the same. Maybe a German Shepherd might not be right for you. Even those little yappy dogs, a Jack Russell is a great home security system.
Why?
Because they're going to let you know if somebody's around the house that they don't trust and they don't like, which is probably everybody. Jack Russells are like one person. But guess what? They're going to let you know who's coming. If somebody pulls in the driveway, then you can go check it out and be ready. There's glass breakage alarms you can buy on Amazon. You can get like a pack of 12 of them, and they will alarm if your glass breaks on a window. If somebody throws a rock through your window, it'll alarm. Ring door cameras. As hard as it is for me, I kind of hate having a Ring camera, but at the same time, I can look on my phone and know there's movement in the front of my house. Are you familiar with the app Nextdoor?
I am. My wife is on it all the time.
It's a great intelligence gathering tool.
Oh, it sure is.
Because these ladies, usually it's a lady, I'm sorry to put it out there like that, but these Karens who are in your neighborhood, you're going to find out what's going on. If there's a suspicious vehicle driving around, you're going to know about it on Nextdoor. And even the Ring camera has that feature too. Did you know that? I'm part of the Ring camera community. So you can set the radius up to a certain amount of miles, and it's like a Facebook page for everybody who has a Ring camera.
I was not aware of that.
You can share camera footage. You can share information. Now, people were like, how are the roads today? Is Schnucks open? That kind of stuff. It's kind of annoying. But if you can tolerate that, you can get a lot of good information. Hey, there's a gray van that's been parking at the dead end of this street, and then they're stopping in front of people's homes. And then you can keep your eye out for a gray van. It's great. We could talk about firearms all we want, but if you don't have the training to go along with that firearm, you're useless. You might as well have a hammer in your hand. You're going to do more harm than good. So if you're going to buy a firearm, seek somebody out who has the knowledge and the training and the experience, who can teach you the proper way to defend a home against an intruder with a firearm. Because guess what? Drywall doesn't stop bullets.
No.
And if you have children in the room across the house, you're going to shoot towards your kids. I guarantee you wouldn't go in your backyard and shoot that gun towards your neighbor's house.
Right.
Why would you do it with your kids in the house? What kind of caliber, what kind of shotgun, shotgun, rifle, pistol, what calibers, all this stuff plays a big, huge role. If you have your own opinions, email us, talk to us about it, or go on the Facebook page. Let's talk about what kind of firearms we use to defend our houses. I could tell you about what I use to defend my home, but I'm not going to. I'll tell you I have options, depending on the situation. Right.
Strangely enough, I had a boating accident about 6 years ago.
Oh, no.
I happened to be canoeing.
Me too, man. This is crazy.
I know. And
kayak for me.
And I don't know what it was, but I know what it was. Another boat, one of those big yacht-looking things, came by, and in its wake, caused me to flip over. Mm-hmm. And the guns that I did own, I lost them all. They all went to the bottom of the lake.
That's a darn shame.
It is. To this day, I'll never recover them.
Dang. Yeah, I left all mine in South Carolina when I moved here. Gave them all away.
It's probably smart.
Yeah. I don't need them.
How's the bourbon going for you?
Very good. It actually, the flavor is changing as it's breathing. So I've had it in my glass for a while. I'm still getting that weedy, yeasty aroma.
Is your quote unquote heat starting to mellow out?
Yes. It's still going straight to the back of my tongue, though, with the spicy notes. There's a little bit of sweetness that comes out, though, as it's in my glass. This sounds pretentious to be talking about it like this a little bit.
What, that it's sweet?
No, just to talk the way we're talking about it. Usually I'm like, yeah, I got drunk, man. It's getting me drunk.
We don't get drunk.
No. That would be irresponsible.
Yeah, we're here to enjoy.
I am enjoying this very much. Looking at the glass, what's called the legs of as you can swirl the whiskey in your glass and see how long it takes the drop to come down, the viscosity of it.
Right.
This has long legs to it, is what they call it, or it takes a while for it to come down the side of your glass, which is a sign of a good quality whiskey.
Right. And last week we talked about, the last session, we talked about the bottled in bond, right? 100 proof. Right. And you can tell the skill of the distiller because they have to do it all at the same place. Yep. Everything. Yes. Start to finish. Mm-hmm. And that's what this one is, start to finish. And it's 98 proof. So you're 2 away from classifying yourself that way. Yeah. However, all the other stuff that goes into it, the other 5 criteria out of the 6 are all there.
Yeah. And I was able to tell that this was not a very old, the length of aging, based off of what's called the meniscus, which is a nerd term for the...
Is that the base of the elbow? Is that the meniscus?
I think it's a...
No, that's the weenus.
The weenus. There was a band name called Weenus back in the day, in the 90s. If you tilt your glass on the side, if you have a little bit of the whiskey in your glass, you tilt it on its side, you have the deeper portion is darker than the rim of the liquid, right? Mm-hmm. And if you look at it from the top, the outside edge of where the liquid is touching the glass, the more water-like that is, the younger the liquid is. You can do this with wine as well.
And what was your guess on how old you thought this was?
I think I said it was young. I don't think I put an age on it.
Yeah. It's this particular barrel was aged 3 years.
Which is pretty standard for a bourbon. Yeah. Right? I think, what did we say, 2 to 5 years we're guessing is what the standard... I don't know it off the top of my head.
I think it's 2 to 6.
2 to 6.
A lot of them are in the 2-year range.
Yeah.
They're trying to get them on the market.
Yeah, so say you take a bottle of Jack Daniels, put it in glass, tilt it on its side, you're going to see that the edge of that whiskey on the glass is pretty clear, right? And that's totally normal. You want to get a return on your investment. That's just good business sense.
Right.
You don't want to, like a lot of the wine, they're paying $1 million per acre in California for vineyards, right? $1 million an acre, and it costs you probably 40 or 50 grand per acre to produce wine. And then you're going to age it for 15 years. So you're not getting a return on investment for, 20 years.
Right.
Which is insane.
As we get back on topic a little bit.
Yeah.
We were talking about things, items, storage. One of the key ingredients to this whole process that we did not talk about is our health.
Oh, yeah, man.
We're talking about the get-home bag, right? There's this little thing you're going to stick on your back to walk home in. Can you even do it? If you got on your treadmill or taken it to the gym and walked with it on, can you do it?
Yeah. So you've seen my gym.
Yes.
There are two major pieces of equipment in my gym. A rowing machine and a treadmill. Cardio is king.
Right.
Cardio is king. When I was in the fire department, cardio is king. You have, we call them engine boys. I'm an engine boy, me personally. I like to ride on the engine because I'm fighting fire. I'm in there in the trenches, doing the hard work. You have the truckies, or the guys who ride the ladder truck. These guys are lifting weights and getting bulky because their job is search and rescue. They'll come in, put the ladder up. They'll go and search for some victims and come out and look good in their muscles, right? But guys like me, engine boys, we got our sexy mustaches. We're doing the work.
You're not in the calendars.
No, dude, no.
Right.
Not me.
Okay.
No. We actually talked about doing a calendar at one point in time, but it was like real fireman calendar, like beer guts and mustaches and hairy shoulders. Not those pretty boys in California.
I'm not buying that calendar. I'm sorry.
Well, I bet I know there are a lot of women who would.
You're right.
Yeah, you got to be prepared fitness wise, health wise, even. Okay, cool. When's the last time you got your blood work done? When's the last time you checked your hormone levels?
How long is your medication going to last?
Dude, that's a huge thing. That's one of my notes I took down is you have first aid and medicine. What if you're allergic to bees?
Right.
You better have some Benadryl stored up.
Or an EpiPen.
EpiPen runs out after a while. It loses its
do.
potency after a certain time,
Yep.
especially if it's exposed to heat or extreme cold.
Even our snowstorm that we had last week. It took 4 days before the mail to get delivered to our house.
Dude, don't even get me started on the mail.
4 days.
Don't even get me started.
Who in the area was already low on a prescription med?
My dad, my father.
And then they're running behind, they're panicking about what they're going to do and how come they're not getting their medicine, or yelling at the people on the phone.
Yeah.
They're like, well, it's
Meanwhile,
in the mail.
CVS is gone, doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
You have Walgreens or you have your mail service. All right? Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm. All the people that are on anxiety medicines, by the way, get off them, please.
Yeah.
That's just going to run out.
Yeah.
It's going to go away in the worst case scenario. What are you going to do with yourself?
I've heard rumors, just rumors now, that you can get medication mailed to your house from Canada. Antibiotics, ivermectin, stuff like this, if that's your thing. Apparently, people do this. I haven't done it personally, but apparently you can.
Yeah, but it's still in the mail.
It is in the mail. You're right. But you can order it now.
And have it on hand.
If that's your thing, I'm not recommending you purchase anything online. These are all just general discussion topics. We're not telling you to do anything.
Right. And besides the prescriptions, do you have Band-Aids?
That's a huge one.
Do you have an antibiotic ointment laying around?
That's a good. So I'm an EMT. I'm a certified EMT, National Registry. You need to have some training to go along with your medical supplies. So yes, you need to have Band-Aids, antibiotic ointment, alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, Basic stuff, man. And different Band-Aids. You need a Band-Aid for your finger. It's a lot different than one you're going to stick on your thigh.
Yes.
What size Band-Aids do you need? Is it a big laceration? Do you have liquid stitch? Do you have some wound closure stuff that you can use? Do you know how to use it? Just like with firearms, you need to have the training. You can take a basic first aid class anywhere.
Right.
I can teach you. Give me a call. I'll teach you. I'm certified.
Let's take it one step further. Here we are at home, and, something happens. You cut yourself with a knife.
Yeah.
You're going to need stitches. You go to the urgent care to get it done. Well, you know what? There might not be urgent care.
Nope.
So what are you going to do with your hand that you just sliced? Or take it a step back and go, do you actually pay attention to how you cut your food now? To not even have the cut in the first place.
Are your knife sharp?
Yes.
A sharp knife will save you a lot of heartache. If you have a dull knife and you're trying to cut carrots,
right,
it's a lot harder. So I wrote down there's under first aid, you need to know whether is this a trauma situation or a first aid situation. There's a difference.
What is that difference?
You have massive bleeding, a fall from heights, head wound, puncture wounds, a broken limb. So how do you know what's going on? You have to do what's called a rapid trauma assessment. And I'm gonna list this. I'm gonna go through this real quick, and if you guys are interested, go look it up, please, or email me, and I will meet you, and we'll talk about it. So we use a lot of acronyms in the military, right? It's the same in fire EMS. AVPU. Do you know what that means?
No.
AVPU. Alert, verbal, pain, responsive. These are levels of responsiveness. Are they alert? Are they verbal? Do they respond to pain? Or are they unresponsive? So you remember when you took first aid or a CPR class, hey, are you okay?
Are you okay?
And they're like, no, man, I fell and I'm hurt. Right?
Call 911.
Or they'll tell you, yeah, I think I'm okay. I'm not really sure. My leg kind of hurts. They're alert and they're verbal. If you say, Johnny, are you okay? They don't say anything. They're not alert. They're not verbal. You might have somebody who's verbal and they're just like, yeah, last Tuesday I had tater tots. And you're like, what?
Mom?
Right. So what we do, you can do a sternum rub. Take your knuckles and rub it on their sternum. And if they're like,
What's the sternum?
Your chest bone.
Okay.
Breastbone.
Gotcha.
Or you can pinch them, stick them with a needle. I don't recommend that part. Rub their chest vigorously is what we say, right? But if they have a spinal injury, you don't want to do it too hard. If they don't respond to the first, they're not alert, they're not verbal, they don't respond to pain, they are unresponsive. All right, and then you're going to move on to the next ABCs. Do you know what that one is?
No.
Airway, breathing, and circulation. I know you know this one. Airway, breathing, and circulation. You're going to look, listen, and feel for, are they breathing? There you go. Is their airway clear? Are they wheezing? Do you hear any noises like rattling, stuff like that could tell you, like, this ain't normal? They're breathing. Check their pulse. What are the two places you check your pulse? Come on, Kevin.
No, sorry. I'm wondering if you have the pass method in there.
That's for fighting fires with a fire extinguisher.
Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
You're going to check their neck, right? Their carotid arteries, and you're going to check the wrist. You can check other places, but primarily you're going to put your fingers on the side of their throat. If you try to feel the pulse, that's the strongest. Next will be the thumb side of their wrist with your first and second finger. Not your thumb, because you can feel your own pulse in your thumb. Mm-hmm. First and second finger. Next step. All right, this is going to blow your mind. DCAB, BTLS.
BTS?
BTLS.
Okay.
You're going to look for
I
deformities.
Thought you were talking about Korean rock bands.
Now, we're getting in the weeds here, all right? But I'm telling you, if you are in a situation where you call 911 and nobody's coming, you need to know what the heck to do, man. Do they have deformities, contusions, abrasions, punctures, or penetrations? burns, tenderness, laceration, swelling.
Wow.
These are all in order. So you're going to go up and you're going to be like, dude, are you okay? They don't talk to you. Rub their chest. Nothing. You're going to look. Are they breathing? No, they're not breathing. Guess what you need to do then?
CPR.
There you go.
Pulmonary.
Cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
Yeah. That's
All right. So
I need another bourbon.
decap PTLS. All that means is you're going to run your hands down them. Do I feel anything poking out that's not supposed to be poking out? All right. If somebody has something poking out that's not supposed to be poking out, you want to keep it stable. Maybe put some sticks there.
I'm trying to keep it stable
and wrap it down. All right. What about a jugular vein distension? You ever heard of that?
No.
No, I'm just flexing at this point.
Show off.
All right. Jugular vein distension, that just means you took some trauma to your heart is getting some fluid around it, and your blood can't pump, the valves can't open up all the way, and that sort of stuff. And your jugular veins will start bulging out.
You know, if I take...
But look...
I don't know where to go with this.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. All right, so this is how deep my training is. I am a nationally registered emergency medical technician on the basic level. You have an advanced level and a paramedic level, and then you have nurses and MDs. I have the very basic level of training, and I'm breaking out all these acronyms, and I can close a wound. I can get somebody breathing. I can tell whether they're in anaphylaxis or not. I can tell if they have a collapsed lung. All that sort of stuff. This is very basic stuff.
I have a friend of mine that practiced sutures on a pork roast.
That's a very good. I was told to use pig's feet because the skin is a little bit thinner and you have more tendons and more stuff on it. But that's great. If you're interested at all, guess what? When the shit hits the fan, I'm useful because I can do sutures.
Right.
I can do this medical stuff, and I'm useful to a group. What is your purpose? What are you useful in? Can you just dig ditches? Is that your purpose? Cool, man. You got a strong back and you can dig ditches. Mm-hmm. That's very useful.
Yes.
You know how to plant vegetables and keep plants from dying? That's very useful. You know how to purify water? Great. All this stuff, everybody brings something to the table.
Can you bake bread?
Bake bread, yeah. My whole point in talking about this stuff now is we need to start, you got to know your neighbors. You have to know who your friends are. What is your plan if something goes wrong? How are you going to get home? Do you know how to use a compass? Or are you just relying on your cell phone?
Ooh.
GPS to get you home.
I hope you're not using your cell phone.
Do you know how to use dead reckoning?
Reckoning.
If your compass breaks?
Right.
If you don't know what that is, Google it.
Right.
Right? Do you know how to, shoot, I don't know.
Well, you know what? You're bringing up some good points here. I mean, yeah, we're going into the weeds, and we're kind of doing it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But let's circle it around back to a normal day.
Yeah.
You know, we're not talking a zombie apocalypse.
No,
here.
let's say we're at work.
Yeah.
Right? A solar flare hits.
Well, I'm not even going there. I'm going, you're just having a bad day, a bad event, some moment. The winter storm that was here last week.
Right.
All
okay.
right? So Interstate 44 here in Missouri was closed for nearly 6 hours.
Shut down. Yep.
Because of an accident. Did you have enough fuel in your car? Did you leave your destination with a quarter tank of gas? Or did you leave your destination with the full tank?
That's probably the most overlooked point of being prepared is where do you top off your fuel tank? Where do you top off?
So for me, I never go below a quarter tank on normal environments. But in winter environments like we're in right now, or something that I think is going to happen, I will not go below a half a tank.
Right, because that goes back to the
tank.
Hierarchy of needs. That's your
I'm
shelter.
going to fill it up.
That's your shelter and your warmth.
I need to keep that thing running.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to freeze to death.
There you go.
Do I have a couple things in my car? You know, again, I guess if I'm going to be shut down for 4 hours on the highway, can I eat an energy bar?
Yeah. Peanut butter goes a long way.
Yeah. I mean, just Put a couple granola bars in your glove compartment.
A candle and a jar of peanut butter.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
It is so simple and so basic. And we're not talking extremes. If you want to go to extremes, that's great. But think about just day to day and think beyond your immediate circumstances.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to go out of town, don't see that sign that says next service 80 miles and think I'm going to get gas then. No,
Man.
Get gas before you go.
Yeah. Have you ever driven through Nevada?
No.
Or Eastern California?
No, but I thought
Holy cow.
Kansas was bad enough.
Kansas is civilized.
Well, and if you go through southern Kansas where there's nothing there.
It's wild.
I went 3 hours without seeing a single vehicle in either direction, front, back, or left, right, or
Yeah. Imagine if you blew out a tire and wrecked into a ditch then.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
right.
It's 100 degrees outside. Kansas is not temperate in the summer. It's hot.
Can you change a tire?
Yeah.
That's one of the things I've done with my girls when they were learning how to drive.
It's a great
I made
idea.
them change a tire on their car.
My grandpa used to make them push the car around the block
Ooh.
to feel how heavy it is.
Ouch.
He was not a nice
I was
man.
hoping that my girls would just get out of the car and about 8 other cars would stop and help.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so, there's extreme levels of preparedness that you can go to. But there's the basics, man.
Yeah.
Buy an extra case of water. Have some extra batteries for a flashlight. Talk to your family about, hey, look, if the power goes out, here's what we're going to do. Have that conversation before it happens.
Do you tell people where you're going?
Oh, that's huge too. My mom would always, when I was younger, the big thing was, do you have clean underwear on? Because if something happened, she didn't want me to have dirty underwear. But she also knew where there was a specific mole on my body that she could say he has a mole in between his toes, between the first and second, whatever. And I think I even forgot where it is. But, it's like I always thought it was a freckle. She called it a mole. But those kind of things are important to talk about. Mm-hmm. Identifying markers. Okay, hey, I'm going to this part of Missouri. It's this far away. If you don't hear from me by the end of the day and I'm not home, here's what we do.
And another one is to just send a simple text to someone that you communicate with frequently. I'm headed home.
Yep. That's huge.
You don't have to tell me where you're coming from.
Nope. Heading home.
Just, you're headed home. That way I know that I can expect you at some point.
Yeah.
If you're not showing up, I'm going to start thinking about it.
Right. You and I started hiking, rucking for fitness, right? And I would always tell my wife, this is the trail we're walking on. It should take us this amount long to walk it. And here's how you would get there. Here's who I'm going with. I should be home around this time.
Right.
Always. That way, if I fall and break my femur, she knows something's wrong. Send the authorities to this spot.
Exactly.
I don't always carry my phone on me, but I have a Garmin watch, which is a great piece of technology. If I fall and it takes an impact, it's going to text my wife automatically. Apple Watches do the same thing. I'm sure Samsung does the same thing. Even if I had a heart attack, it's going to text my wife and let her know. So these are all conversations that communication is key, right? In the military,
yes,
we have to communicate, whether it's hand and arm signals to satellite radios. What kind of conversations are you having with your family? Do you talk about if things go south, what are we going to do? Do you talk about?
That's a good point. You just mentioned that. We all live on cell phones. Do you have a battery pack for your cell phone?
I have 2, and I have a solar panel that I can charge.
Oh wow! You okay?
But I'm on the other end, man.
Exactly. But a simple battery pack for anybody who lives on their cell phone.
Yeah. Or a spare battery.
Yeah, or a spare battery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take much.
Do people carry their chargers with them? If you're stuck in an airport somewhere,
right.
Can you charge your
everybody's
phone?
Always borrowing.
Yeah.
Hey, can I borrow your charger? Anybody got an Apple charger?
Yeah.
Anybody got an Android charger?
Where was it? I think I was in Raleigh, North Carolina at a UFC event. They had charging stations in the PNC arena.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. And they had
And
eventually
you
they're
can
going
plug in about 20 different phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But eventually they're going to turn them off and say, man, you got to get out of here. You know, like,
Right.
that I plug my phone in every night before I go to bed because
Mm-hmm.
I want it 100% charged before I leave the house. Basic stuff.
Right.
Now, we could get we've got deep, just to set an example. We could talk about Baofeng radio, shortwave communications.
Cash. We haven't even talked about money.
The VS17 panels. Do you have one of those?
No.
I do. You better catch up, man.
Maybe. My plan is to just take it from my neighbor.
You ain't taking it from me, homeboy. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, you don't live next door to me.
No.
I live in a retirement community. I got an advantage.
What are we going to talk about? Oh, here's what we need to talk about. The lost episode.
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. That was this past weekend.
Let's post that on Facebook there. Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Oh, yeah.
So
That'll come up. I'll get that up there tomorrow.
this past weekend, we recorded the lost episode. We're going to re-record. We're going to do it again. We're, what's that called? Masochistic like that? We're going to feel that pain again of having 6 people and 3 microphones. But
Yes.
we're determined to make it work this time.
Yeah.
And
We learned a lot.
we did learn a lot. It was an amazing conversation. We really had a lot of fun. These girls are awesome. Women. I'll say they're women. 15 to 27, right?
Yes.
Age 15 to 27. They're all young women, and their perspectives are great to get. I had a lot of prepared questions last time. I think I'm going to throw them away.
I think that's a good idea because they will carry the conversation any way they want.
Yeah, just as long. Yeah, they will.
We might have to prep them a little bit more this
No matter how inappropriate it gets, they will go there.
Right.
These girls aren't shy. These women aren't shy. I keep calling them girls because I'm a 45-year-old old man. They're not shy. They're very outgoing, very smart. They have a lot to say, and it's important to hear what they have to say.
Yes.
Their perspective is great. I really had a great time this weekend, despite all of the agitation from the technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
It was really fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Here we are. And we're even going to redo the cocktails we had.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do it again.
We have to because we posted about it and we never even talked about it.
Yep. Somebody asked me today. That's all they cared about. What did you guys drink that? And I told them, here's the cocktail, but we're going to do it again. So thank you very much for listening to all of our ranting. I get nerdy about prepping because it's almost like a hobby for me. I really enjoy it. You know, my time in the military was different than a lot of other people's time in the military. I was a what's called a light soldier. So we lived on our feet out of our rucksacks, and I had to learn a lot. I spent my first night in the field, just to tell you a little story. My very first night in the field in Fort Lewis, Washington, it was pouring down rain. This is what do they call it? A temperate rainforest, I guess.
Yes, yes.
The Olympic National Forest.
It's one of the last remaining.
Yeah. So we were walking for, I don't know, 5 days, it felt like. And I'm carrying 95 pounds on my back. I'm 129 pounds at the time, carrying 95 pounds. We get to our objective rally point where we're going to set up our patrol base for the night. We're sneaking around the woods in the dark. Set up our patrol base. We're doing a 50% sleep, 50% on security, right? I see all these guys have these tents set up. I was like, where the hell did they get these tents? I didn't get issued a tent. All I have is this damn poncho. What is going on here? So I leaned up against a tree, and I just put the poncho over my head, and I curled up in a ball, and I'm shivering myself to sleep. I wake up for guard duty. The sun's coming up a little bit, and I look around, and these guys are making hooches out of their ponchos. I was like, how the hell did they do this? So I had a lot to learn, man. Those guys just let me suffer. Those sons of bitches let me suffer in the rain. But I'm glad they did, because I realized the value of taking care of my equipment and learning from those who knew more than me.
Right.
Is very important. Don't be afraid to be a rookie. Before you become a master, you need to be dumb. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Right. And ask questions.
Ask questions, man. Be a sponge.
There's no such thing as a dumb question.
No way.
Everyone's going to make fun of you on the question.
Whatever, man.
but it's important to you.
Yeah.
So ask it.
Yeah. So what I learned from that was when we did get a new guy, I was like, hey, man, here's how you make a hooch. Before I went to bed, here's how you make a hooch.
So this is the Headspace and Tasting Podcast.
Yes.
You can reach us on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Audible. And we also have our own Facebook page, the Headspace and Tasting Podcast. And on that Facebook page, we'll always post information that we talk about in our podcasts and some stuff that we won't get into our discussions. And we'll post some pictures now and then. And you can reach us at any time at showmemk@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Show me as in the show me state.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. It was a great time, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thanks for the great whiskey. That was really good.
Yes.
I'm going to steal another glass before you leave.
And I can't wait till Saturday.
This is going to be so fun because everybody's warmed up, primed, ready to go.
Right.
We're going to hit it hard. It's going to be great. All right. Tune in. Sunday evening will be the next episode. Thank you for listening.
So long, folks.
Bye.